Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Ricamus Reacts. My name is Ricamus, and today, if you can't tell from my apparel, I'm going to be reacting to the teaser for Solo: A Star Wars Story. Now, I don't know anything about this. Obviously, I'm a Star Wars fan, and I have done reactions to other Star Wars things in the past. I don't know how I feel about them doing these stories. I'm honestly very excited to see Han Solo's backstory. And the only thing that I've truly heard about this has been the only thing that I've truly heard about this has been people are really into young Lando Calrissian. So I'm very excited to see Childish Gambino as Lando. Very excited. But I am also very curious to see how they're going to be portraying Han Solo. I do know that in some of the old canon in the expanded universe, he was, I guess, supposedly initially an Imperial officer or in training at an academy or something like that. I don't know that backstory. That is why I'm going with this theme. I'm not sure if they're going to go down that route. It would be very interesting for him to have an Imperial background. But I don't know to what extent they're doing the story. I have a feeling that they're going to be doing the Kessel Run. I don't know. I'm hoping that we're going to see Han and Chewie meeting. It looks like they're going to have Lando, obviously. So, and I may have seen an image, like a GIF of the Millennium Falcon. So I don't know if that is from this or not. I'm assuming it is. So basically, the only things I've seen has been that quick little GIF, and then of course an image of Lando being just cool as fuck. So I'm so excited to see what else this might have in store for us. And I am gonna check it out now. Let me just make sure the volume is up a little bit. And display capture. And hopefully this actually plays through this, so we'll see. And it's 1 minute and 43 seconds. Cool, so it's not super short for a teaser, which is good. Ooh, nice sound.
I've been running scams on the street since I was 10. I was kicked out of the flight academy.
Okay, so he went to the flight academy.
For having a mind of my own.
So he's a rebel.
Pilot. Best in the galaxy.
So, yeah,
Hey,
the hallway looks kind of cleaner.
I'm putting together a crew.
Ooh.
You in?
So they're already together. Oh, is this like a heist film or something?
I
This
might
looks
be
like
the only
fun.
person. Who knows what you really are?
Oh my god, I forgot she was in this.
What's that?
A scoundrel? I don't know.
Get ready. Thought we were in trouble there for a second, but it's fine. We're fine.
So he's that Memorial Day. Oh wow, I thought they're gonna stick to the winter release. Huh. Interesting. So, okay, so with what I've been doing lately with my reactions, especially with my Ruby reactions, I've been going back through what I watched and sort of like scanning and just going point by point. It's easier than, going and finding thumbnails, and honestly, I don't have the time or the patience to, write a whole thing and, put the thumbnails at the right time, and I think it'll be more fun if I just kind of scan through and see how it looks. So, first of all, I'm liking the look of it. It doesn't look. I mean, it doesn't look too like dark and gritty is what my first thought. But I mean, it does have that sort of tone to it, but it still looks like it exists in the Star Wars universe. So hang on, it's gonna be a little. No, well, of course it's gonna be a little rough. I loved the sound in the very beginning of just the flicking of the switches. It was very. There's something about that was just very tactile. And I could just feel it. Um, so I like that. We do. I like this little it's sort of like a rebel car chase scene, not like a rebel in the Star Wars sense, but like like a rebel kid and getting into trouble and driving through the streets on his speeder in this case, which I like that the speeder is kind of older looking than obviously the speeders that we see in A New Hope and in Rebels. Like it looks like this is taking place a little bit further back, which makes sense. Um, and yeah, I mean this gives me the vibe of some like rebel kid. He's got the girl in the passenger seat, and he's making trouble and driving around. Yeah, so he must be at this point you know, late teens, early 20s. I'm assuming what. So he talks about going to flight school, so there is that aspect to it. I don't know whether or not. I don't know where this falls in the timeline, and I'm assuming this is during. Yeah, it's definitely during the Empire. Duh, of course. He's not that old, so. This is definitely in that in between period, obviously. Going to be far before Rogue One, because yeah. So this is probably it could be right around the time of Rebels, but because age wise, I'm not sure how much older Han Solo is supposed to be from Luke. Um, so it could be around Star Wars Rebels, or maybe a few years before where Star Wars Rebels starts, not where it is right now, right? So technology wise and era of the Empire wise, it makes sense. It makes sense that he would go to flight school. They're not saying the Imperial Academy, so I don't know if that's going to be a sort of if they're just going to say that he was training as a pilot and he wasn't regimented enough to go to flight school. But the way that he's talking about it, that he didn't quite fit in and follow the rules that they would have liked, it does sound like maybe it was an Imperial run flight school, which makes sense. And so there is at least that aspect to it that might call back to the old canon, the expanded universe story. And they're making themselves their own, but they're still trying to stick to sort of a similar origin. They're making the story their own now that they are trying to control everything with the story group. But they're still trying to keep to the roots to some degree that people know well. Know. But it does seem like it is veering off from what I've heard. But yeah, I'm loving this little chase thing. The look of this almost reminds me a little bit of Rogue One. Um, so there is that darker look to it here. Uh, but then it brightens up. We're seeing new world, and I love how bright these hallways are. It Then the floors are so shiny. I mean, these hallways definitely remind me of the Millennium Falcon. The floors not so much, but it's not too weird to think that the. I mean, this is what the Millennium Falcon looked like when it was first built, or when it was kept in good condition before all the upgrades and all the years of wear and tear. So. And I mean, they cut right from there to a shot of the Corellian freighter. I forget the actual title of it. YT something or other freighter, right? Is that it? Yeah, and then there's the sandy beach, or something like that. This is cool. We were getting some other ancient I wouldn't say ruins or artifacts or what that exist. Just showing that this is a universe. It's not just an empty place. There's more to this universe. Whatever this place is they're meeting in is remote. And we've got why am I blanking on his name? We got Woody Harrelson. I don't know the character's name yet. Putting together a crew of some kind. And we'd heard one of the things that I have heard is that he would be some kind of mentor to Han Solo. It's interesting. Now I'm thinking about it. I don't think they actually say his name in this. They don't say Han Solo in this entire thing. But anyway, so we have. I don't know her character name. Really cool costuming, interesting looking robot. This is a little bit older looking and a little bit different. The style. Honestly, this type of robot design almost reminds me a little bit of Knights of the Old Republic. Um, Robot. Why am I saying that? Droid design. Uh, More characters we don't know yet. So it looks like the team is going to consist of Han, Lando, Chewie, potentially Chewie. I don't know. Woody Harrelson's character, and then those two women, the droid and this guy, whoever that is, and it might be a large crew actually. Cool. And then, all right, what do we got here? Looks like a little bit of a, den of scoundrels. There might be some this like maybe there's some kind of game going on here that people are watching. I don't know. Yeah, Chewie. He always looks the same age. All right. It's interesting. He doesn't really look like Han Solo to me, but at the same time, I can believe him in the role. I mean, I do have to see more from him to really know for sure, but um, yeah, he looks different, but I can see it. I can see where they're going with it. So this is fun. More droids with personality. I can't believe I said robot before. I want to get some good shots of Lando. I don't know why I'm jumping around like this. But it does seem like it is Lando's ship at this point, right? So this summer, right? I already saw that. I'm wondering what the crew is for. Are they doing some kind of heist at like some place like this? I don't know where this is. Ooh. See, I'm loving the design. What is that creature? Um, Beautiful dress. Yeah, I'm loving the costuming, the design of the different areas where they're going to be, uh, sets, whatever. What's her name? What is Emilia Clarke? Yeah. So I don't know. It appears like she's either a part of the crew, or maybe she's antagonistic to the crew and she keeps coming back in, or I don't know. Maybe she is just the person they're trying to rob, or whatever they're doing. We've got some gunslinger type things going on here. This is a really like a classic, high noon sort of standoff thing that's going on here, giving them the whole cowboy vibe. And then we've got this set of bandits. I don't know, or some kind of tribe of people that he's going up against. I don't know who they are. Some really cool set pieces. It looks like a lot of fun action. He does have that sort of like, I'm a charmer kind of, confident charmer kind of thing that Han Solo always had. Um, It'll be interesting to see how he compares to Harrison Ford. Yeah, yeah, and they never actually. I don't think they ever say his name, and they put that in. But I like the music too. It was like an interesting variation on the Star Wars theme. Actually, hang on a second. I'm gonna listen to that again. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to look through that again. It looks like Emilia Clarke is at least part of the crew, or she joins them later on. Um, at some point, it looks like Han Solo ends up flying the ship rather than. I mean, I saw that before, but I'm not, now that I've scanned through it, I see the difference of initially we see Lando flying the ship, and then we see Han Solo flying the ship. So that's interesting. And yeah, he's got that whole confident thing. I just, I don't know. This looks like fun. This is one of the things that I'm realizing when I get too wrapped up in the expectations, I'm sure this is the thing with other people. When I get too wrapped up in the expectations and what, um, and I take movies that I'm excited about too seriously, I don't enjoy them as much. But if I just go in there and I just kind of let the movie take me and sort of like go on a ride with it, it's just so much more fun. And so that's the thing that I think one it hurt my experience with Rogue One a little bit. Because I was trying too hard to predict and see how it's going to tie into other things, and I had a good time with it, but I don't know. I did have issues with that movie, but I I think I had too much of this idea of what Star Wars should be that any differences kind of threw me off there. And initially, and I had tried to recover from that a little bit, but my initial response to The Last Jedi was similar. Like, I had an idea of what I thought was going to happen or how I thought that the movie was going to go. So I didn't really allow myself to experience the movie as it should have been experienced. And so um, going back and seeing it again, I enjoy the movie so much more. And I think I still enjoy The Force Awakens more than that, but I still had a great time with The Last Jedi. I'm very excited to see where they go with the future of the franchise. But the point is that when I just kind of let go of my expectations and had a great time, or like my disappointment in things not happening the way I thought they would, and I just let myself enjoy the movie. It was just so much more fun. At the end of the day, this is a silly space fantasy series that they try to teach us, they try to give us lessons about good and evil, and they, try to wow us with fun adventure and action and suspense and all that kind of stuff. But it's meant to be fun. And I think that this movie looks like a lot of fun. And I mean, because it does need to fit into the canon somewhere, it obviously does need to relate to the other movies, and I think it does. I think it looks like it fits within the Star Wars universe. It definitely looks like it takes place in the past, not only because we know that these characters are characters from the future. Um, we not just because we know these characters in the future, but also because the aesthetic looks different. I mean, certain ships look newer, certain the technology looks a little bit different. So I yeah, so I think and like I said, the characterization of the characters that we already know seems consistent. Now I don't know. Yeah, so honestly, when I go into this, I'm just going to be going into it to have a fun time, and hopefully it blows me away. If not, I think my enjoyment will still be a lot better because I didn't go into it with high expectations. I mean, and it's not that I have low expectations; it's that I'm not letting my enjoyment ride on the high expectations. You know. So that being said, I'll be curious to see if they go through, if they do the Kessel Run. That's been referenced before. They don't have to show that, but it'll be interesting to see. If they do that, I will be curious to see how Han Solo wins the ship if he does. I will be curious to see if they tackle the story of Han Solo and Chewie meeting and the life debt being sworn. who knows? Yeah, I don't know what else to quite say about this, but I like what I've seen so far. So yeah. All right. Hopefully that wasn't just a terrible review, a terrible reaction and review. Hopefully I wasn't just rambling the whole time. I'll cut it down if I did. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys thought of my reaction to this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.